Excellent. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the June 15th Stoughton Redevelopment Authority meeting. This meeting is being recorded by Smack Cable Television and may be live streamed at a future date at www.stoughtontv.org. A recording of this meeting, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceeding will be posted on the town's website and/or Smack as soon as possible after the meeting. Times are approximate and items may be taken out of order at the chair's discretion. With that said, I would ask for a motion to open our meeting.
So made. Second.
Do we have any members online, Dawn?
I don't see any,
No?
no, Anna's not coming.
Yep. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Could we take a moment, if you're able to stand, for the Pledge of Allegiance? Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So we're going to be entering into executive session pretty early in our meeting tonight, but I would like, if there are any members of the public who have any comments, this would be an opportunity for them to make those comments. Anybody from the public online?
She's muted.
Yes, Cynthia Walsh.
Hello, Cynthia. How are you?
Well, you didn't do a roll call. Are all the members present?
They are indeed, yes. All the members that are here are present. In other words, we have nobody online, Cynthia, so there's no need for a roll call.
So you have 5 members present?
No, I have 4 members present. 1 member is absent.
Well, then you really do need, well, never mind. My comment is, I understand from the town clerk's office, you're going to go into executive session and then at some time you'll be coming back into public session?
That is correct. We anticipate coming back into public session at 7 p.m.
Oh, no, that answers my question. Thank you, very much.
No problem. We'll see you back here at 7, Cynthia. We're not quite into executive yet, but when we do, we will return at 7.
Well, executive, no matter who's present, has to be roll call, whether it's hybrid or virtual or whatever.
Thank you. Thank you, Cynthia.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Chairman's comments. I have nothing at this time. Any members have any comments?
I do, but
Please.
it's on the election, or the reorganization. Should I say it now, or should I wait till the reorganize?
Is it something you can speak of during our
Oh,
meeting?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Then,
can
yeah,
wait.
you don't mind hanging
Yeah,
on to
no,
it until then, that's
just
fine.
a comment.
Sure.
Suggestion.
Admin comments, Donna?
I only have 2 admin comments, which are all the open session minutes, including the ones from 1963 and 1964, have been added to the town website, as well as all the executive session minutes that had been released. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, if anyone has a question about an agenda or just needs to contact the SRA in general, our number for now on is 781-341-1300, extension 9299.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
9299. Yep. So it's the town hall's number, and then extension 9299.
9229.
No, 9299.
9299. No, I was pretty
I'm
sure.
right.
I set it up so I was 99% sure. With that said, I would like to enter into executive session to consider the possible acquisition of property for the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if the chairman decides that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A6. And this is in regards to our lease at 100 Page Street, which is also known as the C&D and landfill facility. Do I have a motion to enter into executive session?
So made.
Second.
To enter in, I am going to take Ms. Walsh's advice and have roll call on that. Roberta?
Yes.
Bobby? Desmond?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. We will return into public session at exactly 7 p.m. And I thank you all, and we'll see you then. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's the minutes. Next item. You know what? Yeah, I would like a motion to accept the minutes for the open session of May 31st, 2023. And I do want to make a brief comment that there were some technical issues with our system here. So the meeting was recorded, but there was no sound to it. As a result of that, I requested that Donna put together an immediate set of minutes, a full transcript, blow by blow, if you will, of the minutes and get those to us. That's what you're seeing here. So they're a little more detailed than normal, but
Okay.
that's the reason we didn't have any audio. And apologies to anybody from the public that may have bothered. So do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I do, yes.
I'm sorry.
So made.
Do I have a second?
Second.
This is the May 31st, yeah. Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I am not going to go through the summary of paid/unpaid bills. If anybody has anything here that you want to question, that's perfectly fine, and you can do so now.
I don't have any questions. I just need to caution us that we need to tighten our belt a little bit more in terms of some of the expenses for all of our and some of the things that we may need to slow down on is particularly with office supplies and office incidentals. We're a little bit over the budget, so we need to catch up.
Have we gone over our budget? Oh, you mean on a monthly basis?
Monthly basis.
Gotcha,
Not
gotcha.
going over.
Could you, for our next meeting, just give us a summation as to where we're at percentage-wise, what we allocated versus what we spent? We've actually cut the pastries back for now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw a hard line on the cream and coffee. Well, you're not gonna have me here, so, but I'll accept the pastry cut for now.
All right.
So, but yeah, we're being cognizant. Unfortunately, I do want to make note that on a number of occasions, we have had situations where we've had to make multiple 700-page copies due to this situation we found ourselves in. They've been very large printouts, but
Yeah, no, the paper, the paper, you know, I do understand.
it stinks, but yeah, I got you.
But, you know, it's some of the little things that begin to add up, you know, that really been taken into consideration.
Sure. So also the other thing that may be throwing this a little bit, and it may not, I don't know, you know, we still may have a problem, which is why I asked you for the overall, but we have gone through a series of cameras. We ordered a camera, we thought it was the right one, turned out not to be, so that was returned, another one was ordered. I think we've gone through 3 renditions, have we not?
I think so,
Um,
yeah. The right one.
We've gotten the proper credits, we're following it,
Yeah, no, and I'm
but at the end of the day, it may have thrown that up in the air a
No,
little bit.
I've been following the credits.
Okay, good.
So, you know, I just wanna, I'm looking at this legal bill that's coming down the road.
I know.
You know, and I know that, you know, wherever we have a surplus, we may have to say, you know, in this
Shift.
particular line item, we may have to shift some of those dollars over to the legal,
Understood.
legal line.
Yep. So we will continue to keep a pretty close eye on that, Reggie. Thank you. And if you'd be kind enough to give us that sort of year-to-date.
As a matter of fact, I'll send it out.
do like a year-to-date on everything, just so we have a clue what we're underspending on and what we're over, so we know where we might be able to
Give
shift?
you month by month,
Okay.
right up until, what is it, June?
Okay.
Where are we at?
Yeah,
June.
we're in June.
Yeah, it's the month right in June.
Unpaid bills. The only two, well, the Verizon bill is in, and that was $84.94, and that
But
will get
another
dealt with
one.
tonight. That's a recurring. The audit report for DHCD, just want to make a quick note on that. Reggie, you were able to hire a company that significantly reduced our cost on that.
From $23.50 down to $800.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big shift, and I just want to thank you for the work that you did on that.
And it's, got it.
Oh, good, wonderful. So, I believe I signed a check for that, did I not? Donna, have I already signed a check for the balance on that, or no?
No.
Okay, so we'll deal with that tonight.
And
Which
that's-
leaves,
That's the latest Verizon bill that came in after the
no,
one
no,
you
no,
signed.
no, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
No, but I'm saying under unpaid bills.
Yes, I am aware of that,
Okay.
but that's a recurring.
That's correct.
We have not signed a check for the final
Right,
$400 balance
That's
on
correct.
the DHCD report. Okay, so let's make sure we do that tonight. Invoice number 64, this is for Donna Marie Jutras. This was actually for 2 months, and the total amount was $695.25, which break down to roughly $350 a month.
Did you, were you able to break that out, or did you just, it was,
no, I did it just from the last time we met to this time.
all right, I'll figure that out.
All right, I'll make a motion to pay Donna Jutras $695.25 and for the DHCD audit $400.
Second.
I don't think we need a motion for the DHCD audit,
Okay.
because we had already approved that in
Oh,
our budget,
okay.
but I'll definitely accept the motion if you're willing to amend that on Donna's.
Yeah, take that off.
Donna's invoice. And we will second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next item, financial review or finance review. Donna, we'll get that to you at the end of the meeting. Reggie?
What I did is I sent out,
Got it?
you know, sort of like going back to February.
Oh,
Well, you did March, April, and
I
May.
did February, March, well, I did April and May. And what I did is I consolidated it so that people can see February, March, April, and May. And I did that because I wanted to show that, for example, in our portfolio, in investment, we lost $16,447 in February. You can see the market's going up and down. In March, we gained $1,042. But then in April, we took we gained again about $5,400. But then in May, we bled out. We lost 15,000.
it's not worth looking at, I'm telling you.
No, but it's important, I think what Reggie's getting at, because we've had brief discussions about this. To date, we've lost somewhere in the areas of 50,000 this year. I understand and agree. It's important for us to keep an eye on, how bad it gets. I'm also interested in that break-even point, and we may have a decision we choose to make at that break-even point. So we see the fluctuation. They didn't increase the rates again today, so, the market's gonna be happy.
Right.
Something else will annoy them next week, but, we kind of want to keep an eye on where is our grand total, and if we get back to that more or less break-even point, members should consider what options we may want to choose to.
And right now, as of the end of May, we're $131,000 to the good. we're still above
Yeah.
where we started,
Yes.
you know. But at one point, we were almost at
Almost 800.
$800,000. Last year.
So we've shed nearly half of
You know, so.
the gains.
And I do take more of a look,
Yeah.
you know, because the reports are really good. You can look at what happened, last month, year to date,
Right.
or from the inception of when the $500,000 went in to.
Right.
So and I began to take a look at, gee, where, and again, what's that break? Once we get to a point, we'll say, wow, maybe we need to pull some money out and put it into a 4% CD.
Right, well,
I know.
that's why I had asked them, right, if there was any
Yeah.
cash in that, that they could just put in a,
So, that's where we are there, I have, and I am continuing to work on the year-to-date. So I actually promised that to you guys, I think 60 days ago. And a couple of personal things came up where, I'm not going to use that as the excuse, but, I
I
am
didn't
working.
lose any sleep over it.
No, and it's, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
July is a good meeting.
Yeah.
That's just over our halfway point for the year. It's a good one to sit down and take stock.
And what you're going to see is month by month, from January through June, you will see, sort of what happened during that month, and then you will see the accumulation. So let me pick on IT for example, right? In January, we might not have spent anything, but when you get to June,
Right.
you will see that maybe we spent $1,200. And then if you looked at that, you'd say, well, where did we spend $1,200?
Right.
You'd be able to track it through each month.
Right.
300 here, 500 here, a camera. One of the things, and Donna's been very good at this, is keeping me abreast of when the credits come in. Because it can drive you kind of crazy. You see something come in for $350 and then you get $139 credit. Oh, okay, now where's this going?
Right.
But Donna's been doing a really good job of making sure that she writes right on the bank statement. So that's what else do I need?
Before you move on, is there any questions that anybody has to this point about the financial planning portfolio? Any thoughts or comments you want to make before we move to direct deposits?
Yes, only when we had, I don't know if I can say this during open session, we had them here talking about,
Careful, but
okay. We never really, we said we were gonna talk about that, but we never really made a decision
Oh,
on the case.
on which piece?
Well,
The direct deposit?
no.
Oh, well, hang on. The financial people were in open session, so we can talk
Oh,
about
okay.
that. Yeah, they were in open session.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure.
No,
All right.
that's okay.
So,
I'm glad we
we
clarified.
were, we were told by them that we are a lot more conservative
yes.
than
Yes.
other like groups.
And I would
And
like
we
to be
said-
less conservative.
And we said we were gonna get back to them.
Mhm.
So I guess my thing is, are we keeping the status quo, or do we wanna, not be as conservative and take it up a little notch to be what the other like-minded groups in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts are doing? I guess that's.
It is, go ahead, I don't,
That's it.
I don't want to taint the pool, so.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but we said we'll get back to them, but we didn't. Are we going
Okay,
to
so
get back to
Bob, what were your thoughts? And we are missing a member that is, in my opinion, critical to this tonight. Bobby, what are your thoughts on?
As far as Roberta's point's concerned, we did have a discussion, but we never really came back to, either yay or nay as far as what we want to do as an organization.
Do we want to entertain something? Do we want to speak with them and see what that would look like?
I think,
Draw something up?
give Brendan an opportunity to come back with his data, we can take a look at it. And then, it's like you say, it's fluctuating. It's, the we decided not to do a rate increase today, that might affect the market,
It
you're
will.
giving us great data, this month you're gaining this, and so I think maybe a 6-month look at that as far as this year is concerned would give us, better evaluation to kind of say, let's stick what we're doing, or let's change course, or let's
Okay.
change course a little bit.
Yeah, we don't have to vote on it tonight, I
Yeah.
mean, if Andrew's here next month.
So why don't we do this?
I don't know.
And Reggie, I would like to hear your
Well, for
thoughts.
me, I look at this the same way I look at my personal finances. So I'm always going to be on the more conservative side. So, when I was a younger person, I was a little more risky. Now where I'm at now, I like to see steady growth if possible. So right now, I'm sort of sticking with trying to be somewhat conservative, because I don't really understand the market myself.
Well, I don't know about anybody else right
Right.
now. I think
So-
Bartholomew was here one night, and I said, what's the worst case scenario? He actually responded to me, nuclear war.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this is when Russia was getting geared up with the Ukraine. I was like, whoa, did you just say that?
Right, they did say that.
They did indeed say that. That was a quote.
So I'm always going to be more on the conservative side until I really see it just kind of like take off. So I give you an example. I sent out the sheet wall guide, around the rent structure, and when I took a look at that, I went all the way back to
96.
96,
Yeah.
in terms of what the CPI,
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And I kind of like estimated, and none of it really was above 5%.
Nope.
Um,
There was 1 or 2 years where we hit 7, but they were generally,
yeah, but I also know that in the lease, it said, it can't go below 5%.
you cannot go below.
Yeah, it can't go above
10.
10%.
Right.
So basically, it was conservative, because I could have went through each one and kind of like plugged it in, but I did a 5%
Yeah.
straight, and with the exception of year 23, because right now the CPI is right around 7%.
Yeah.
So I actually upped it to 8,
Yeah.
and did it there, and I was, to tell you the truth, I was a little
Blown
bit
away.
surprised. I
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
to tell you the truth,
Big bucks.
because.
And I'm gonna want those
Yeah.
bucks.
And the next
We're
one I'm gonna
entitled to.
do, because I didn't have time, but that's just the monthly fee. I can count, I can do these formulas so that it actually tells you what the annual amount we should have gotten versus what we actually got. So I know like right now, we're getting about $51,000 based on 39.
Whatever.
And if we just doubled that, right, to 8, then we're talking about $96,000, a year.
A year,
I know.
which is
And that's
a
not
big
counting,
chunk of change.
and that's not counting, if we get $1 tonnage and some money from the solar.
It's not counting anything but.
Well, you said you
We're
were gonna,
on very thin
you were
ice here,
gonna
so
send
let's be
out
careful.
something for next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe next month, we table it to next month and take a vote next month on what we wanna do.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, although what I would like, if possible, and Reg, if this isn't possible, tell me. But I wanted to know, could we reach out to Bartholomew and get some data on what would happen if we did
Yeah.
conform more to what your normal municipality does versus our ultra-conservative approach? I'd like to get a feel as to what we're talking about. It would help me at least.
Then probably do the shift, the pie.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
And whether they pick the Bob fund, the P fund, or whatever fund, you
And-
want that shift.
right.
You're looking for the shift.
I'm looking to see what the advantage is.
Yeah.
And I can't really do that without understanding what they're gonna do. If they want, they certainly don't have to show up in person. But if
Right.
they wanted to call in on that one or
Yeah.
come in via video,
Or
I
even
would
if
be
they
perfectly
sent,
happy.
they sent us the
Yeah.
information, we
Yeah.
can all
Yeah.
read it.
But conversations that I've had with them, they indicated anytime that
Yeah.
anytime that we want them to
Yeah.
come here, they will come.
But this is a situation where I'm perfectly okay.
We're paying.
Oh, we're paying, but I'm okay with the media, however they want to do it. I'd like to hear from them the advantages.
Yeah,
Okay, so they come every year and they give us
yeah,
the
That's
breakdown of this is what you've been doing. I want to hear what happens if we make a change.
yeah.
And I think we all should hear
Yeah.
that, so it'll help us. All right, so you'll set that up.
Right.
And let me and Donna know and we'll get it onto the agenda, however it needs to be
So
on.
either July, maybe August.
Whichever works better. I'd love to see it in July, but,
Are you gonna be away till then?
oh, he's good.
Oh, yeah, he can zoom, yeah.
You can zoom.
Yeah, I'm away, but I think I'm coming back. What is the next meeting?
I'm not certain, but I believe that it
Second,
falls
second of
on
July.
Right,
I think it's the 12th.
June 12th, July 12th.
right.
Yeah, actually, if you're coming back to that. Okay. So Zoom or I'll be Zoom. Okay.
We'll figure that out. I'm not
Yeah.
worried
I'll
about it.
definitely be on Zoom in August.
See if you can get them to get us the data a week before our meeting and then come in July, one way or the other. And that should work. The second piece of the finance review was direct deposit.
Yep, I'm still pushing for that direct deposit. I don't know if we need to take a vote for it.
Well, I think, you know, we've heard you say this since our old
Right.
office, so this is not new news. Reggie, I really want to get a feel for what
You know,
your
one of the
opinion
things,
is.
one of the things I'll tell you, I'm kind of like real old school.
No.
Hey, he moved away from the old guy and did the audits. That was old school.
Yeah.
He's not using the typewriter anymore, I don't think.
You know, it's kind of like when they actually send the check in, we know we got the check. If they send it in by direct deposit, somebody's got to make sure that they actually sent it in. I'm not sure. I know I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying attention to that. I pay attention to when Donna sends me a note that says she made a deposit. And I do realize.
Does Donna have access to the account, meaning she can visually see it?
No.
You cannot visually see the account.
No.
That's a problem.
But you know what?
One
I
of
can
you-
make it so that you can.
One of you guys gotta be able to.
Yeah, no, I can make it so you can. see.
No, but could you visually look at
Oh,
the
yeah.
account right now?
Good print those.
No, the
No.
one thing that I did was I made sure that nobody could withdraw any money, online, digitally.
Right.
So we all can take a look at it. I can,
No,
when I
but-
send you the report, right? When I send you the
You just
report,
can't transfer money.
well, yeah, but when I send you the report, all the deposits and everything, you will be able, you can see. I don't know if you really take a good look at it.
I mean, I don't know with banking technology, if a check gets deposited in your account, being on your phone, I don't know how.
No, so I get regular deposits
Okay.
from clients. I don't get a notice, I have to go in and look.
Okay,
I don't have a problem looking because I just did the work and I want to
Right,
make sure the
right,
money's there, but,
right.
at the end of the day, if somebody's making a recurring
I mean,
payment or
how many
something,
people can actually?
I gotta hunt it.
If a bunch of, let's just say all of us could look
yeah.
at the account, whatever code we have to put in for Abington
Yeah.
Savings. I mean, I guess, hey, I saw it first, hey, everybody, checks here. I guess I'm looking at it as, it saves them the stamp. I'm sure their payroll and everything else is all direct deposit, it's just another thing. And we're more likely to get it on time if it's direct deposit, that's all I'm thinking.
So how have
I
they
don't
been
know.
doing with paying us? Are they paying in a
They've
time?
been paying us
It
early.
appears that they've been paying us early now or on time, so
Yeah.
we're getting our money
I
on time
mean,
now.
it's up to you guys, if now that we're getting it, you don't care. Maybe since we're trying to work something else with them, then maybe we should
wait
let sleep
a
and
few
dogs
months until,
lie. Yeah,
Can we revisit this in
Oh, I'm
September?
fine, I'm fine.
Yeah, I just would be interested to see what pans out over the next
Right,
couple of
and no
months.
offense, when we talked about this the last time, it wasn't timely.
That's right.
And I will say, I think we probably got their attention because this was, this is June, right?
That was
We
one
got
of
two
them.
payments, in May. We got the first of the month,
And
and then
then,
we received one on the 31st.
Right.
So
It's
saying
probably
maybe we
the
got
way
their
they do
attention.
their bookkeeping too.
So Donna, will you put this back onto our schedule for the September meeting, please?
Okay.
So just to get up to speed, the option now is that they send us a check. What we want to do is automate that via direct deposit. And, yep, the concern is, notification. Obviously, Donna gets a check in the mail, she's notified. Or if she doesn't get a check, we're notified as well. So we're just looking at options to automate that process where the money comes into the bank. And so I guess, the question would be too, is to reach out to Abington. And I know there are notifications, where all of us could get a notification. And that might streamline it,
Good.
I just don't know if that's an
So
option.
we have until our September meeting to figure that out.
Yep.
We all need, well, Bobby and Roberta, you both need to be able to get over to the bank.
My next point, next time we go
Yeah,
there.
with at least myself and or Reggie.
Like one of us has to.
Yeah.
Yep. So we can do that.
And there is some paperwork
And while we're there, say,
involved,
hey,
Right.
what's an option as far as automating this process? And if they can help us and it streamlines it and Donna doesn't have to get it,
It's important that all of us are signatories on the
Yeah.
account.
And right now.
We gotta clean up some old ones.
Andrew,
Just you made it
signatories,
right now.
and Roberta, and then I thought we had everyone off. But
So, I
instead of
thought so
Helder-
too, but when I had that incident at the bank, I found that there were three older members that were still technically active signers. They weren't,
Was it Helder?
Elder, Forrest, and Pam Carroll are all still technically signers on the account. Now, signing is a lot different than accessing the money, but it's a formality we need to clean up.
Right.
Particularly if we're gonna get into direct deposits.
Right.
So, just sort of, let's get it all, and I need you both, so
Yeah.
let's put out Donna, send an email to all of us. You can include Andrew, but he doesn't need to go in, he's already done it. And let's all pick a date and do it, okay? I don't care what the date is, but let's pick it.
over enough savings is now Abington,
Well, it's Abington.
across the town.
It's Abington. Yeah, across the this is great.
Well,
Awesome.
everyone knows.
I know. Correspondence, I don't think we had any, did we, Donna?
Just the survey, I believe, from the solar lease, that we got from the town. The survey that I sent you a picture of.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have some correspondence.
Yep, so we got some
Oh.
correspondence from the chair of the select
We used to
board
go that way.
regarding the urban renewal plan. So let me just give a real short explanation as to what's going on with that. The last time, I believe, was the 26th, Reggie met with the planning board. And at that point, the planning board took no action. They chose to take no action, which is perfectly fine. We now have our consultant, Jeff Vassar, working with Bill Roth, the town planner, to work out some of the details or sticky points they were concerned about. The planning board has stated, come back whenever you're ready, and we're happy to take this up again. So in essence, they take it. They just simply took no action. Jeff and Bill intend, my understanding through today's conversation was that they intend on meeting Friday. I intend on going to that first meeting just so I can hear what the whole thing is. And then I'm gonna leave them to do their job. They anticipate a 2-week window tops to fix it all, repackage it. Then I want to get that to the chair and vice chair of the planning board for their opinion, not in public, but just their personal opinion of it. If they feel comfortable with it, we move forward. which gets us to this letter about the select board. The select board does not want to take action on this until the planning board has completed their work. So they have requested that we let them know when the planning board is done. The second that's done, even if it's an anticipatory vote from the planning board, they'll begin the public hearing advertisements and get us in directly afterwards. The select board has a slightly different role than the planning board. The planning board has a very narrow objective here. It's, does this meet the master plan or not? The details Jeff and Bill need to work out are details that there might have been inconsistencies or things like that within the plan. So we're paying our consultant to work this out. Why? Because that's what we paid him to do in the first place. So we're not paying him additionally, we're paying him to do his job, which we've already done. So he's gonna take care of that heavy lifting. The subcommittee that we have with the select board is going to meet once the final draft has been completed with the approval of the town planner. Just check the box to make sure everybody's okay on our end, and then we're gonna move forward to the select board. So that, in a nutshell, is where we're at with that at this moment. Any questions on that before we move beyond it, or?
No, I know during that meeting, there was some discussions. To me, it was a little bit disappointing because I know the select board chair at previous meeting had attempted to put together a subcommittee. And all of the people were present at that.
It was a joint meeting with the planning board, CPC and SRA, yes. You were there, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you might have been on the phone.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you were
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I say a little bit disappointing because at that meeting, I believe it was the previous interim town manager had indicated that, they didn't have enough staff to put on the subcommittee.
We were missing a planner at the
Missing a
time.
planner. And no one from the planning board, sort of stepped forward to be part of it. So again, the whole idea of trying to put that subcommittee together was to try to get to the point where people really understood exactly what the roles were. So, the planning board's role really was to be able to confirm that the urban renewal plan fit within the master plan.
Reform for the scope of the master.
And there was a slight geographical area that needed to be worked out. But there were a number of other things that was much broader that I thought needed to be at the select group versus the planning board. Because the question is a very simple question, was, did the urban renewal plan conform with the master plan? And the communication that we received, the first paragraph indicated that it did. And then there was like 8 pages of other things that I thought they were legitimate. I just thought they needed to be, that was sort of something that needed to be worked out at the select, and that, having to delay things to work those issues out, and then go to the select board, which may now have some other issues that we need. What they're doing now is actually part of the process. They shouldn't be looking at the urban renewal plan until the planning board has said this conforms. And then it can go, because that is the actual process. Other than that, we'd be going in reverse, we're gonna have a problem scenario. So what I say is a little disappointing is that, I thought that, the issue should have been very narrowly looked at in terms of does this fit within the, or does it conform with the,
Which it does, in fact.
and it actually does, because we, you know, they did notice that there was one piece of property that was outside, and they said, okay, fine, you know, we can
So
fix that.
we actually, early in the process of the urban renewal plan retake, if you will, because this was approaching 16, we took a look at the footprint. The footprint for the zoning that was most recently passed at town meeting varies slightly from this. That was never changed in the urban renewal plan. It wasn't changed because we didn't feel it was necessary. There were no properties outside the footprint we had established that would ever have been able to come up. They would like to see those two pieces conform. At the end of the day, it's fine. Doesn't make a difference to me. Those are the little kind of ins and outs that Bill and Jeff need to look at. That's the bottom line. So,
Because you know, there wasn't correspondence, I'm not sure if I sent it to you, I sent it to Tom Calder. Because developers that we met,
oh, yes, you did.
you know.
Yeah. An alternate.
You know,
set
they
piece.
were very interested in bringing private money to Stoughton. And, you know, I told them, hey, we don't have an urban renewal plan that's approved. So you're the wrong, we are the wrong people to talk to.
Well, we're not, we're just not quite there yet.
You know, well, the property that they were looking at was property downtown. And that's why I sent it to Tom Calder.
Which is again why we need your review. It's
Said,
a little bit of a chicken
you
and
know,
egg.
this is, you know, this may be plan B, you might want to talk to these folks, just because they, you know, they're bringing their own money, to the town and saying, hey, look, we're interested in doing some business here. Like anybody that got money, they always find some ways to.
Okay, so any questions on that before we move on to the next piece of correspondence?
So the correspondence is, you know, Reggie, the scope of that was whether or not it conforms to the master plan, which we pretty much confirmed that.
Yes.
There's additional questions that needed to be answered. The scope from the zoning change, little tweak there, it includes this property, not that property, whatever the case may be. They're gonna take care of that.
Correct.
And the questions.
Yes.
Okay, and then what's the timeline for them to, we're in, what, June now?
Yep.
What's the timeline for them to go back, I guess, and give that bite of the apple?
So, when May 26th came, it was the 26th, am I correct on that date? When that came and passed, I spoke with Jeff Astor the following day. And he informed me that he needed 2 weeks to get the details worked out with Bill and that he could come back with a clean plan. I said, great. Today is June 14th or 15th? 14th. And I sent out an email 2 weeks ago saying, please, to both Bill, myself, Jeff, and I think a CCD as well. It says, please pick a date. And they're now just picking this Friday.
Okay.
That was not on Bill Roth, mind you.
Okay.
That was on our consultant. So, the long and the short of it, they intend on meeting Friday. I will see them both briefly, but then I'm going to leave them to the work. Whether or not you stay is your choice. I think somebody should, but I have yet to meet Bill. I've talked to him several times on the phone, but I've not met him in person, so I would like to do so. So I'll take a moment to do that. So at this point, it looks like the end of June, they, at the absolute latest, I'm gonna push Jeff a little on that. We've already lost 2 weeks.
Right.
Can we, hustle through this and get this done in a week or so? So, but by the end of June, we should be able to get on, and they don't have to re-advertise a public hearing, to my knowledge. They had the public hearing and closed it.
Well, I'm not sure, that was one of the things I was unclear about, because Dan,
Did close the public hearing, did he not?
no, he didn't close it, he was in favor of extending it
Continuing it.
and continuing.
Oh.
Do you remember what the
They
word
do a
was?
lot of continuations on the zoning, on the
Dan
planning
did
and
say,
zoning board,
that
yeah.
it would continue until
You
September.
see it on their agendas, a
And it was-
continuation.
As far as September, yes.
Yeah.
And Tim Roth,
Bill.
Bill Roth, you know, actually opposed it and said he would recommend to start it all over. That was his recommendation.
Okay, so we need to figure that piece of it out, and we need to do so early in the game, so if we have to get on their first meeting in August, we can actually do
Well, you
that.
could probably
I'm
find
sorry,
that-
their first meeting in
You could probably find that out on
July.
Friday, because that planner will be at the meeting, we're going to on Friday. They'll probably know if it's continued on.
Yeah, I'll ask that question, that's a good
Yeah.
point. Will you do me a favor and send me an email on that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
What time should we do?
I don't, they haven't picked a time yet.
Well, remember, they're only open till noon.
Noon, I'm aware.
They can be here.
Yeah, I don't, it doesn't
Bill
matter.
doesn't, I guess.
No, he does not work this, he's not required to work this.
Yeah.
But he did send some times that he was available, so I feel confident.
Okay.
Anything else on this
All
before we
kids
move on?
work all day.
With the game plan.
You do.
So you saw a letter from Morse Insurance in our packet, thanking us for our payment. I actually insisted on that letter because we did not get the appropriate information until the evening of the day it was due. The evening before the day it was due. I had a discussion with the manager of Morse Insurance. He goes by TJ Whitmore. And I told him in no uncertain terms that moving forward, if we are going to do business with Morse, we need to have our applications in January. This is a no later. It doesn't work for us to get this in May and then have to figure out how to pay. It just doesn't make sense. As a matter of fact, our last meeting, we made a motion in advance of what we hoped the bill to be. That's a very, it's not a great way to do things. So I've told him that, you know, hey, this needs to be to us early or we'll have to find somebody who can't provide it early. So that was what the purpose of that letter was. I just wanted you to know that. We received from the town an income and expense report on the quote-unquote solar lease on the landfill. I ended up calling and spoke with Trish Shropshire, who is running the assessors department right now. I says, what's this about? She says, well, I just need this filled out for your lease. I said, we don't have a lease. And I referred her to the town manager and town council, because that's who's dealing with that situation right now. So, but it was a part of what we received in correspondence, so I wanted to get that, just so you understood.
So, do we get one of these for the landfill?
No.
I used to get one when I had the penny saver,
Yep.
because I have a tenant.
So we're gonna
upstairs,
work it
so
out.
I guess
Right. We should be, Roberta, but we're not. It's something we have to work
Okay.
out. And as part of the overall revamping of what it is that we do, that's gonna become a part of it. Just so
Well-
you all know.
Save a copy of this when we're working on our, you know what.
Yes.
So, they say we own money?
You know what? No, no, not yet. I'm sure they will at some point. But no, it's something we'll work out. I just wanted you to have that, so. Don't worry about it right now, but be aware that it's on the radar. All right, action items list. Donna, if you could zip through this briefly.
Sure, I did my usual one,
Yep.
actions such as posting the video on Facebook and the town website, posting the signed minutes at town hall, typing the open session and executive session minutes. I did shred some files that Mark and I had gone through during the Council on the Aging shredding event, so that's been taken care of.
And just to let everybody know what that was, these were all repeat information that had already been authorized by the state to be shredded. It just hadn't happened under a prior chair. So, go on.
I sent 3D mock-ups to all the members, because that was requested at the last meeting. I went through the town website and added videos to the website of our past meetings. I contacted Wizards Computer Services regarding quotes, and it is in this meeting packet. And I did contact Trish to have Bob Desmond's name added to the SRA account.
Does that happen?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I did get the Forest former files. Some of those boxes are still at the Hanson School. And I did pay the utility bills in the rent.
Excellent. Roberta. Okay, so this is agreed to coordinate newsletter when format is developed. We haven't really developed the format, and I think that's something we collectively need to kind of step up a little bit on. You've collected the data on the small businesses. You've shown a willingness to format it. As part of the action items list, make a note that I will put some generalized information together. So I'll put together like, I want to see A, B, C, and D on a newsletter. I'll have that sent to you, or I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Give a real
Yeah,
quick, you don't
yeah.
have to spend a ton of time, but format it out somehow. And then let's share it with the group
Yeah.
and see, hey, what are some of the things we want to add? This
Yeah.
isn't necessary, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think there should be a very brief,
Right.
message from the
People-
board of
people won't
directors,
read
if
it
you will.
it's too much information.
Right, so you kind of want to keep it simple, bullet point it. We could even provide links to more lengthy information. Today I attended an MAPC seminar or webinar on affordable housing, what the state is doing for each of the municipalities when it comes to monies. What is the future, so to speak? How do they ideally want to see that? Where kind of monies are available? Little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I attended this, here's a link to the
Yeah.
webinar if it
Yeah.
interests you. Some of the things that I learned in that webinar, just sort of offhanded, is boards and committees within towns and participation is done overwhelmingly by white people and homeowners. Nobody really gave us an answer why, but at the end of the day, they did give us some suggestions on, hey, these are ways to stimulate people's interest in things. So I want to think a little bit about, how I want to put it together, but I want to provide a synopsis of that and sort of get everybody's thoughts on it. We had our grand opening, a very successful night when it came to diversity. I think the room was it was very diverse in the people that showed up, whether it be age, color, race, ethnicity, what have you. We had a really good blend in here. And, including senator and representative. So I feel like, we're on the right track, but I figure, hey, I spent the time to watch this thing, participate in it, share the information that I got out of it with you. We can do nothing or we can do something, but it'll be our choice. So that's the kind of thing, I'll get that to you. It's gonna be real brief, these are sort of the generalized things, and then we'll go from there. One thing I do wanna put in there is, I really wanna see us do a quarterly event for the public in general. Small business startup day, where we can have somebody come and speak about starting up a small business. Have a bank or two attend, they can talk a little bit about financing. Sort of how do you do this? I know a lot of people who are small business owners, and the overwhelming majority will start on a shoe store. It just says, hey, I get this idea, nobody's here to help, I'm just gonna do it, see what happens. Might even be one or two of us in this room that have done that, but the point of the matter is, it'll be nice to be able to offer them at least a template. Whether or not they choose to follow it is up to them, but I also want to do the same thing with first-time home buyers. I really, given the market and the cost of homes now, having information that's helpful to those people goes a long way in building trust with our community. Maybe have an affordable housing night. where we can speak about the pros and cons of it, you know, what are the advantages, what are the and hear everybody's opinion, not just, you know, it's important we listen to everybody. So, I'll get that to you.
Yeah, come around.
So that should be on our next agenda. Next thing was update CPC activity. CPC had 11 items pass at town meeting, all successfully, spent $2.3 million, and it was a pretty varied grouping of items. Everything the CPC did this year was done in cash, and including a bond anticipation payoff that the town had inadvertently created. So we had a very successful town meeting. Now we're beginning the process of writing the grant agreements and the memorandums of understanding with the town, so that those monies can be distributed. But that's it for the CPC. We don't have a ton going on right now. We're waiting to see what comes in. Reggie, you supplied Donna with the May Bank statement? We've kind of touched already on the core area for the constant contact, and I think we need to sort of get back on that.
The one thing, and I'd like to just revisit this here, because I did get the entire business listing for the entire account.
Yep.
There's a lot of information, but the one piece of information that's not there is the email addresses. That's the one piece of information. Got everything else, but there's no email.
Have you identified the core group of businesses?
And I have not, the core group is, you know, just these 4 or 5 streets right here.
Maybe a little down 138?
Well, whatever's
Yeah.
in our geographical location.
Maybe whatever's in our footprint.
Whatever's in the footprint, exactly, you know. Because I had scheduled, I don't know if anyone knows Lee Pelton.
No.
Lee Pelton is the CEO of the Boston Foundation.
Okay.
And I had contacted him, you know, about a meeting, you know, around business in Stoughton, you know, and you know, he was interested. You know, they're more of a think tank or anything else. You know, they don't give you money to build anything, but they'll give you some money to do some planning, or if you need to do some research or something like that. And that's what I was thinking about, you know, trying to understand is in our footprint area, to really go around and get that information so that when we do come out with a newsletter, for instance, so we have a way of getting in contact, at least with the core.
Let me ask you a question. Is the list of businesses, is it in an Excel spreadsheet?
It is in Excel.
Donna, you're familiar with Excel, correct?
Yeah.
Let's get a list of the streets, and Donna, if you'd be kind enough, put in those, you know, narrow the scope to just those streets. And let's at least get a number. I need to know how many businesses are there, okay? From there, depending on the size of the list, we can either go through and get email addresses or maybe split it up. I don't know. We gotta see what the number is first. So in the next week, please get her the street names you want on that. And Donna, get us the list of businesses as quickly as possible. You send it to all of us. And then we can figure out what we want to, we gotta start somewhere, so. And it's not gonna get done if we just keep talking. Let's do it. And that's it for the action items list that I can see. Community benefits, lighting and cables necessary for train depot. Roberta,
It's me.
it is
I'm gonna lighten things up.
good because I'm hot. You're probably cold, but I'm sweating.
So, we had talked before, I talked before about putting lights in the center, and I said I wanted to wait till the train station had electricity.
It does.
And it does, and my thought was Wyman Street, So I talked to Paul Gifford. We can use those, I'm gonna call them the gas light poles, because the ones that they decorated
Yeah.
for Christmas. And Wyman Street, there's one on each side of the train depot, and you can't, it would be too low, a truck would hit it.
Oh, yeah.
And there's only 3 on Wyman Street, so Wyman Street's basically out. The other 2 are too far apart, and it's on the package store side, nothing on the other side. So I want to just start with the railroad station, or maybe Washington Street. And we would purchase the lights and the wire. The Public Works said that they would install it, because I called Paul for that. My next step would be to see if the select board is agreement to do it, because somebody's gonna have to pay the light bill, even though they'd be LED lights. And then if you guys would be comfortable on purchasing them.
So,
I mean, the cable and 100, like, you know, they're in 100-foot strands, so they're, so let's just say we did, I'm not even gonna look at the train station, because you've got all different roof lines and pitches, and even
what if
if we
there was
did
a way
one,
to do it though, just like bring it around the building and then maybe a peak or something? I mean,
Right.
those commercial lights are spliceable, they're.
right, but there's electricity, but
Super
I
easy.
don't know where the exterior plug is, if there is an exterior plug.
So we need to find a
That's-
couple of things.
That's the problem with that. I mean, let's just say we said, all right, let's just do Washington Street on the right-hand side. From right in this corner, go to Honeydew.
And this is pole to pole?
This would be, yeah, run parallel with the street. It would be the shorter poles, with the gas, I'm gonna call them gas lights.
Just opposite side.
The
of
lights
church.
that the Friends of Stoughton Center put up, those poles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just throwing out a number, say it's $100, 100 feet. If we started and we did 500 feet with the cable, you're talking $500. And then maybe next year, we get a boost in our rent, maybe we could do more. But I wanna start somewhere. Let's try to beautify what we have to work with in the town. And these lights I looked up, they're shatterproof, they're waterproof. One goes out, okay, one goes out, the whole string doesn't go out. But I have to get the select board to approve it also. But I don't wanna ask, and they give you the okay, you guys say, no. You know,
So the first piece that I think we need to know is cost and then location. So
Right.
those are two sort of, I'm a huge fan of doing.
I mean, I'm gonna throw out $500. If it's 400-foot strands, 600-foot strands. When I looked at my
Are these
online,
commercial though, or?
I believe that they were LED, but my husband goes, you have to get the cable too. You don't want
So
them
are
to
they
sway.
two separate
Because that's gonna-
cables with a socket screwed onto them, or? There's
I mean,
quality, that's why
Right,
I'm
they
thinking if
they
we're gonna
did-
invest, I wanna
They
do.
did give you, of course, a couple of extra little, whatchamacallit.
Could you send us
I will.
the info for the lights
Right.
first?
Yeah, but
What I
I'm
would like
thinking
to
that
do-
about that much money.
Yeah, so, I mean, as far as cost goes, what you're talking about is relatively short money, right?
Well, I don't
Initially.
wanna push it, and I don't wanna push it with the town, I wanna, like you say, if we do the train station, we'll do that first. Then
Well,
we can
maybe, that's
start-
kind of what I was thinking, like,
Yeah.
the Friends didn't like the train station. They got a couple $100,000 from the CPC to get it up so that it could be opened.
Yeah,
I'd love to see an event there, and I'd love to have lights
yeah,
there. Even
And
if it
I-
cost me a
yeah.
little more than 500.
and there was a couple little kids there skateboarding, and he said, hey lady, you're buying this building, and I said, no, because I was taking
They already own
pictures.
it.
And they know, and I said, I was thinking of putting party lights on it, and they liked it, well, yeah, it gets really dark here.
Yeah.
It
And I bet
does.
you it does, so I'm thinking, you know, these are little kids on skateboards, so, I guess.
There's gotta be an exterior plug, let's figure out
Right.
where.
Right,
But
but like my thought is, if you guys think it's a good idea, I would go to the selectmen, like the first one in July, in citizens' comments, because I'm not gonna wait for them
Yeah,
to see.
so here's what
And if they yay or nay it, then we can, I would like to get them out before Christmas.
let's get a linear
Yeah.
foot
Yeah.
number of how many we need, and then let's get a price on it.
What about they only want us to do half the building on one side of the building?
Well,
You know,
great.
we're kind of at.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and get that, I have no issue getting their permission,
Yeah.
but if this ends up being $7 grand,
Oh, no.
well, you
No.
know,
No,
I don't know,
I-
we gotta talk
I
about
don't
that.
wanna
but-
do $7 grand, I don't, and if that not be the case, then let's start on Washington Street. And
My
go down-
only, and I hear where what you're saying on that, my only fear with Washington is now we're in a situation where the Friends are doing one thing, we're doing another, I don't wanna be butting heads. I don't know, you're on that,
Well-
you tell us.
Oh, I mean, they may wanna do the Christmas thing again, but I don't know if it's scheduled in the budget, the $16,000 for temporary lights.
But they know they can't come back here for the money again. We told them that was a one-shot deal.
Right, and I.
Well, even if we did have.
And no offense, you know, if this went up, this helps enhance it for the Christmas time. Who doesn't like white lights up? They
Yeah,
look pretty
let's
all in.
try and focus on, I love the idea of the train
That's fine,
station.
I'm
If it doesn't
open
work
for-
out, we'll figure
Yeah.
something beyond
All
that.
right,
I mean, I guess it's open for discussion, you tell me.
No, I do.
I'd even entertain a motion at this
Yeah, I mean,
point.
I think it's a great idea, you know, and it beautifies the train station,
yeah,
you know, and brings it to people's
Yeah.
attention. It's a great thing, you know, like I told you, when I go down Tuesday nights through Canton, they have the whole street down Washington Street lit up.
Oh, dude, it's beautiful.
You look like you're at Disney.
Here we go.
And so, I mean,
Especially,
yeah, especially at night, and it's like, wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah, we
And
don't
You know what I,
think
you know
it
what I
goes so
found?
far.
People actually go to businesses there. Businesses stay open later because people go.
They feel
Doesn't
safe.
matter that it's 20 degrees out or if
Right.
it's
Right.
60,
Right.
they go.
It does kind of give you that kind of feeling of, yeah.
Right, so I mean, I think it's a great idea. I think again, brings attention to that, you know, and now the different things that you
Yeah.
can do with the train station. And, you know, you're driving by and it's not, you don't just drive by it, now you see it and it's, yeah. And it's
I'd
kind of,
like to have a fundraiser out
yeah,
there.
so I think it's
Let's
a great
have a
idea. I
Christmas
think
tree
it's a-
decorating contest or something, you know,
Right.
holiday contest of some sort
That's,
that, you know, generates some interest.
that's step one, and then you can kind of logistically.
And there's
you can-
only so many of these light
I was
bulbs
gonna say,
anyways.
logistically, if they
So-
want to do something, then
Yeah.
they can continue, or, you know, they can come up with a game plan.
That's
or-
kind of why I want to, if we focus on if we can,
Right.
focus on the train station, then it gives us one season to figure out if they're gonna do anything here. If they don't, well, now we know our answer, we have to figure it out. But if we go this route, the train station's gonna be open to the public, this is a good opportunity.
Right. I mean, I'm just hoping I get a yes during citizens' comments, that they don't have to put me back on an agenda.
They're gonna
But
put you on an
I'm
agenda.
gonna try to,
they
Yep.
should give you a yes, all you're asking them to do is to pay for the electricity.
right.
No,
Well, we
actually,
don't know
all
the
you're
building.
asking them to do is to give her an opportunity to come up with the proper plan and scope of what we're doing. That's really what you're asking.
Right.
But essentially, you know,
We're not even asking for anything else.
I mean, I already have pictures
well,
of the
somebody's
thing.
got to pay for the electricity. you
Right.
know. And the town has already agreed that last year, we helped light up the Washington Street.
They agreed to pay for the electricity.
They agreed to pay for the electricity.
Right.
You know, I look at it, that's the least they can do. You know,
They
you
can
know,
run extension cords from
You know.
I mean, I don't know if you can see, but this building is, you know, they got peaks. Oh, and I also.
Yeah, but think about it this way, Roberta. Maybe we don't carry the peaks initially. Maybe
Right.
we run around the building and then worry about the peaks on the second run.
And then I also think there's even like the clock. That's a four-sided clock.
I know.
I would
Well,
love.
don't get me started on the clock.
Okay,
There's
but
a
it
way to get money for the clock.
Okay, but that would be nice too.
Yeah,
It would be nice to.
to have it
but-
working and lit.
But that building is that building is big.
It's huge.
We're talking a lot of lights.
Lights.
So even if we just did, I don't know.
Here's, and if anybody opposes this, by all means say so. My thought here, go to the select board and get permission.
Right,
You and I can work out, I have some thoughts on the type of lighting
okay.
that will be, it's just expandable. You're gonna
Okay,
trust
so
me
you,
on
all
this.
right, no,
It's-
I believe that.
Yeah.
I'm just looking online.
No, I used
Paul
to
said
do this
that
with
the
a guy
guys
who
could
did
do
it for
it. So if
municipalities.
the guys can go up there and hang the lights, then.
All we gotta do is buy them,
Right.
they'll love this system, It's a
Yeah.
good system, and
Okay.
it's not any more expensive,
do
and
we
it's
have-
repairable.
We don't have to take a vote, do we?
I don't, I'd say just go ahead.
All right,
Well,
I'll-
if you go, you know,
We need to vote for the money, but
oh, I know that.
I would be really interested to want to understand, because it's such a pivotal building
Right.
yeah, it is.
that, you know, it's kind of like, you know, if I personally owned the building, I would want to personally do something
I know.
about it.
It is, this is the center of our town, if you
Oh,
think
yeah,
about
and my
it.
husband goes, well, I probably should paint the trim first. I go, you're not gonna paint the trim.
You know,
You're gonna have to look.
They have some
look
money, I don't know, I'd like to see where they take
I
it.
want to know,
Oh,
I
that's
want to
right.
know, you know, what are they going to do with their building? You know,
Well, that's the question
One
we've been
step at a
asking.
time.
Well, it's supposed to be a community center. It's like what.
It's gonna be used for public use,
Right.
is what they said, but they didn't specify
Cultural
any, yeah.
cultural stuff.
So,
They
we'll
got
get
$15
back to
million earmarked, you know, which means earmarks come out in April 2024.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I'm well aware what you were talking about.
and you know, that's the only thing that I want to know. Is,
I wanna release the money for the training.
Tell me what you're going to do with your building. And if you tell me that, then everybody should be trying to figure out how to help with whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, if you get that building up,
And like
I
you said,
guarantee
we're
you
all
people will walk down
volunteers,
and
they're all
look at it.
volunteers, everybody's trying to,
If we light it,
Yeah.
they'll come, but we
Right.
have to have something for them to come to.
right.
So, we'll get there. I have some thoughts on that too, but ask the question.
I will, all
If
right.
they give us permission, we'll take it from there.
Gotcha,
You
all
have
right.
our blessing.
All right. What's
Update on and discussion of general liability directors. Is this something we need to talk about tonight? We've already kicked it
next? No,
around.
is that right? No,
Yeah.
we've already done it, yeah, yeah.
Technology upgrades, Wizards price quotes. So in your packet, you'll find some price quotes from Wizard Computer Services. One was endpoint security, VIPRE, whatever that is, and advanced RMM with ransomware detection. These are the two basis things they want us to get done. I apologize. Those are the two additional things I'd like to get us done. The first thing they want us to do is get a firewall built in.
Who wants us to do
So, the suggestion was made by the IT director from the town. Based on, we had Wizards come in here and sort of go through our system, find out what, you know, we needed, make sure everything worked, all that stuff. They made the suggestion, I called Trish, she said you should have a firewall, and I would like to see these other two items. So there's 3 total items here. We're not required to do any of these 3 items, but I needed to present it to you and find out which, if any, you want to do. So the endpoint security and the RMM are useless unless we have the firewall down. So I kind of think we ought to make a decision on the firewall, and that's only for 2 years. So the $17.89 plus tax will give us a firewall for 2 years. Am I right on that? I'm reading this right?
I believe this, yes.
That's the first piece. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and this is my opinion, nothing more, and I'm ignorant when it comes to most of this, but this is the only computer I ever see in here. You know? I don't know, call me silly, but, and I'm not too worried
All
about
right,
it.
are there any certain codes on there, US codes that we have to worry about with the firewall? I'm trying to-
I mean, somebody could access the town's system through this, yes. That's the concern. That's why Trish said I think it's a good idea.
So if
But anybody, anywhere who accesses the G Suite, which we're all required to do, if you were hacked at home, if you were hacked on the road, wherever, you would have the same problem. So no, it's the
So they have,
$2,000 plus the $100.
they have,
Oh.
yeah, no, it's, yeah, no, it's expensive.
It's not cheap.
It ain't cheap.
I just, I get it, okay, that's their job. Wizards is here to tell us how to fully protect ourselves. We're not in this office every day, and that's the struggle. If I was in this office every day, I'd have a very different opinion on this. Or if we had a full-time employee in here every single day, I'd have a very different opinion about this. We're here once a month generally as a unit, maybe twice a month. And then sporadically,
If somebody was to hack
For
us, what would they get?
look, you get all the tons of information here.
The town has already got a,
That's
security
correct.
system.
Yes, they do.
So if somebody was to hack. through
That
it,
is correct,
yeah, they're already protected,
which is why I'm not panicking.
you know, I'll tell you, here I go with my conservatism.
I pass, Reggie, I'm with you. I pass.
I'm with you.
All right.
I just don't see the need, I mean, I get why he said it, okay, that's his job.
Right, you bring it
But why
to
do we
us.
need it?
I don't see it.
I brought it to you because I
Yeah,
have to bring it to
right.
you.
Yeah, no,
That's my
I get
job.
it. Glad
And
you
he
did.
keeps asking us every month for it.
Yeah, he does.
Do we have to take a
So
vote?
I need a motion. Here's what I'd like to do. I want somebody to make a I'm gonna give you the motion. I would like a motion to accept the estimates, number BH125275 and BH125276, concerning IT, endpoint security, and firewall upgrades, and ransomware detection software. I just want that as a motion, and then we can vote it down if that's your choice. But I want to make a motion to do something. So, somebody make a motion.
That was-
We don't like negative motions, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Well,
Here's what it makes me.
So if you made that motion that I just said, to accept these, and everybody voted no, then it fails. But it's still a positive motion, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I'm just not sure.
I would say I'm gonna make a motion to make no changes to our IT.
That's your motion.
I'm okay with that too, that works. I gotta think about it.
Okay.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. Let them know we're not gonna take any action at this time.
Yeah.
We'll get back to them if we,
You know,
if we need his services.
it's like,
Done, easy.
it's like the guy saying,
We've already covered the URP
Yeah.
item 8, so I'm not gonna go back over that. Executive session minutes from November 9, 2022, December 14, 2022, January 11, 2023, February 8th, 2023, May 31st, 2023. Do you want to handle these as a package, or do you want to break them off and do them separately?
I would like to hold them.
All of them?
I just wanna look at them again, because I kinda was saying, really trying to figure out, maybe I was late at night looking at them. I just wanna, I don't wanna go over something
Nothing more,
that.
you don't need to say anything more. I'm gonna table it until our July
If
meeting.
if you're
Fair
okay
enough?
with that,
oh, I'm okay, because I have you.
okay, so,
So they're
Okay.
tabled until our July meeting.
yeah, that's fine.
Everybody please be prepared for the July
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah.
Okay? Which brings us to, more or less, our second to last item, which is our reorganization. This is something we do once a year. I
This
think
is
it's
what I
healthy
want.
we do this every year. I want to give Roberta an opportunity to say something because I know you've been
Right.
holding to say something.
So when you pass the gavel to Donna to reorganize, my thought is, I don't really know where this is going. So I'm just throwing out, say Bob and I both get nominated for chair. I want Bob to have a chance to say something.
No problem at all.
And I have Because I really don't, I want to know what the nominee is going to bring to the board.
Yep.
And I just think that it's fair that you have a little time to, prop yourself or give yourself whatever.
No problem.
Instead of voting somebody blindly. I guess that's what I'm trying to
I have no issue.
Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah,
Because I-
absolutely. I think it's a great suggestion.
So I cannot turn the meeting over to Donna, but I can turn it over to Reggie, who is our next officer. So I'm gonna ask that you take over the reorganization at this point. He'll be asking for nominations for chair. And then whoever is chair can take back over and do the vice and the treasurer.
That's the process, that's all.
Yeah, so I'm turning the meeting over to you so you can ask for nominations for chair.
So all I gotta do is
But,
ask for nominations.
Oh, no, that works.
Good.
okay, I thought it had to be somebody who wasn't on the board.
No, actually, it
Okay.
has to be an officer.
Okay.
We don't have our vice chair tonight, so.
Right, but just the select board handed over to the town manager.
I don't know why they would have done that, but our bylaws are specific.
Okay, okay. All right.
Let's open it up for nominations for officers, for the SRO,
For chair.
for chair. Can I make a nomination?
Most certainly not.
No,
Feel free.
Frickin'.
You have the floor.
I nominate Mark Zemanian to continue to work.
I will accept that nomination. You have to ask if there's any
Are
other
there any other nominations?
nominations. Would you like me to give a brief
I would still like a
synopsis?
little, yeah.
Sure. So, been chair here for approximately a year and a half. We are, I hope, nearing the end of the urban renewal plan. We're also in a situation at 100 Page Street that has required a great deal of time. If I do indeed become chair, this will be my last year chair. I appreciate it and everything that everybody does, but I personally take on way too much responsibility in this. This year, I intend, if I get the chairmanship again, firmly to start passing the baton off to others as far as responsibility. I need help, I can't do it all. And being a self-employed person, I have a bad habit of saying, to hell with it, I'll just do it myself. It's putting way too much pressure on me, and it's unnecessary. I have 5, total members willing to help. So my intent this year will be to change that so that the responsibilities are spread to all. Being chair this last year gives me an opportunity to close off some things that I've already started. Things I very much like to close off. Completing this urban renewal plan. Finishing the discussions with, the developers and actually seeing a project get off the ground. So, as far as whether or not I choose to run next year is still unknown. However, I want to leave the authority in a position that is strong and capable of carrying on, regardless of who's here. So there's my
Good, thank you.
30-second speech.
That's fine. All right, so I'm gonna second the nomination.
You don't need to,
Oh, that's
but
right,
you know,
that's right, I'm sorry.
you would just take a vote at this point.
We take the vote.
Yeah, you should take it by
roll.
roll call. Yes,
That's not responsible.
yes it is.
Nominations are closed, and we'll take a vote, and we'll go by roll call. Roberta,
I'll go with Maximilian.
Bobby,
I'll go with Mark as well.
and the treasurer votes in the affirmative for Mark.
And I'll vote for myself.
Congratulations.
So I'm going to take the meeting back from you.
All right.
Hand the gavel over.
With that said, we have 2 more positions. We have a vice chairmanship position that I would ask for nominations for at this time.
I would like to nominate Roberta for vice chair.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair? Hearing none, I'm going to close the nominations. You want to say a few things?
Oh, do I have to?
Yeah, absolutely. See, careful, it's a double edge.
No, I the vice chairmanship. I enjoy being on the board. And I'm learning things that are going on, and I'm willing to step up. And I know Mark and I will work on the negotiation thing. Well, I told him I would kind of carry that load. And I'm here, I have good attendance. It's just when I'm not here that I'm not here, but I Zoom in, so.
Well, and you're allowed to zoom
Right.
in until at least 2025, and
Yeah, so I appreciate it if you vote for me. Thank you.
no problem. Nominations are closed. We've heard from Roberta. I'll take the votes. Bobby?
Yes.
Reg?
Absolutely.
I vote yes.
Yes,
You
I
vote for yourself?
Yep, I do.
It helps.
That does.
Last piece here is the treasurer.
I'll
We need a
nominate
treasurer.
Reggie if he's up for doing it again.
Are you willing to accept the nomination?
Yes.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I'm going to close the nominations. Speak up, son.
Well, I would tell you that I actually enjoy, as everyone knows, if they don't know, they know now, I'm very conservative. And I like, kind of like messing around with the numbers, you know, I like to see us come in on budget, and I like to be as transparent as I possibly can. And I also like to be in a position where, you know, I can kind of like, you know, put the whoa on some things, because I think it's so important that not only are we cognizant about what it is that we spend, but we send a clear message to the rest of the boards, whether it be the select board, the planning board, the CPC boards, whatever it is, that we'll be as transparent as possible. You can come into the lookout post and see exactly what we're spending. I actually enjoy it. It's my favorite thing.
Thank you. If there's no further comments, I'm going to take a vote. Roberta?
Reggie,
Reggie.
Reggie.
Reggie?
congratulations.
You are in. I would like to just take a brief moment and to speak my appreciation to Roberta. Roberta is in fact a state appointee here. And she is the first one in my tenure that has made an active role out of the position.
I'm
So
supposed to just sit here and pray.
unfortunately, that's what happens. But I'm very grateful that you are willing to put the time in, and you have put the time in. So I wanted to thank you for that. And Reg, I want to thank you for just all the work you put in with the finances. Prior to your tenure as treasurer, we didn't have a budget. We just sort of went month to month.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, no, you have, no. Before you got here, there was none of this. As a matter of fact, before Reggie took it, Forrest was both the treasurer and the chair. Oh, I could say that. That's public knowledge.
But
It's
you
absolutely
can,
true.
You can do that?
No. No, that's the point.
Okay,
You
okay.
can't do that.
Okay.
And we were standing.
The point I'm making is that,
No,
yeah, and there were
no.
personal credit cards being, it was crazy.
Oh, wow.
Reggie has righted that ship. So I just want
Yeah.
to express my appreciation for that.
Well, thank you. You know, and if I may, you know, in terms of what we're I have everybody on the back. I think she's an ideal person to be vice chair.
She's going to butt heads with me all the time. But that's good.
But you know what? She'll butt heads with the folks that we need to.
That's
butt
right.
heads with.
I know.
That's
And
right.
I've already witnessed that, and I think that is so refreshing, you know, that folks don't sort of take us for granted. You know, that we know that, you know, whether she's successful or not, you know, but I'll tell you, she rattled the cages, you know, when she brought up the building down, the armory building.
I'm not giving up on that.
You know.
You shouldn't. You're
And-
getting closer than you think.
And people, you know, kind of were ignoring
Right.
that building now. And all of a sudden, you know, somebody said, hey, what are we doing?
It's been ignored again, though.
Yeah,
Because
but,
we have no money.
you know, yeah.
But
But,
you know what?
I'll schmooze them with
We-
the car,
we-
the ice at the train
you know, you get the lights first.
Listen,
steps.
you know, there was a lot of things. It's easier to just ignore it than it is to
Right.
deal with it, okay? But, you know, you have brought that up, and as we all know, this town is making some really hard choices right now, decisions. Water, sewer, solid waste, trash. These are hot button issues in this town, and, you know, at least, I'm not gonna say I agree or disagree, that's not the
Right.
place for this. But the place for this is to say that those challenges are now being discussed in that. So however it happens, I don't know yet, but, you know, at least the conversation is happening. That comes about by volunteers like us saying, hey, we need to do something about the armory, we need to do something about the train
Yeah.
station. Otherwise, it's easier to just let it go and forget it exists. Right. So, I don't make a ton of friends, but that's okay, I got plenty of friends. I don't need any more friends, I just need action.
You're friendly enough.
Yeah. I'm
So
just-
maybe we should volunteer to do something for the 300th anniversary, even though none of us will probably be sitting in the seat for the
I think
300th.
that's a great idea.
Pass it on to the new redevelopment.
Why not?
They should do something.
Why don't we, you know what would be a really good idea? We have the, I believe, chair or one of the members certainly of the 300 committee that joins us at every meeting, and that's
Yeah.
Cynthia Walsh.
Right.
I would like it if Cynthia is willing, put this on to our agenda in July, Donna. And Cynthia, can you, if you can hear us, unmute yourself, please.
She there?
You know what to do, maybe she stepped away from the phone for a moment.
Yes, she is.
Oh. Hi, Cynthia.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
We wondered,
Would you,
I'm sorry?
I'm trying to listen to your meeting, and I guess, Mark, you were reelected chair,
That's correct.
and Reggie was reelected treasurer, but I didn't, I was confused about vice chair. Is Roberta there, or is it empty?
No, Roberta's here and she accepted the nomination and was made vice chair.
Okay,
Unanimous.
so what did you want to speak to me about?
Well, the 300th anniversary was brought up, and as the redevelopment authority, we thought having a conversation about how we could help would be appropriate. Would you be willing to attend our July meeting? And of course, you can do it through the hybrid, but maybe think about how we could help the 300th anniversary committee with making that a success here in the downtown.
Okay, their next meeting is June 20th, and so far I plan to attend. So yeah, I can, give you an extensive list of what they want to do.
Sure.
But, we have to pretty soon start being realistic, because we have to have everything in place for, 25.
Yeah.
So that we can start at January of 26. The plan is to have at least one event every month for 2026, because Stoughton's birthday is December 22nd.
Right.
So that allows us, so yeah, I mean, what I can do for July is come up with a list. I'll ask the chair for the list of what's been proposed, and if something strikes your fancy, then you could be our partner in some event. The current committee wants to partner a lot with the schools, but Stoughton is more than the school system, so
Yes, it is.
we need to have other events.
That sounds great, Cynthia. We're gonna put it on our schedule, and I will ask Donna to contact you and give you the times. We'll get it, I mean, you're always here, but we'll get it on early, just so we can have the discussion and you can take the time you need for that. How's that sound?
It sounds very workable.
All right.
Excellent. We look forward to it. Thank you, Cynthia.
Maybe even mail slot if she wants
You're
to
welcome.
drop the list with a mail slot.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you contact her, follow up with this conversation that we had
I think
with
we
Ms.
should
Walsh.
do something. I think.
Yeah, and then put it on our agenda for July, and I think by then we should.
I think all these open.
Absolutely.
Boy Scouts,
CPC,
Lions clubs,
yep.
You know, the.
Well, not only, I mean, I know they're getting some seed money from the town, but if we're being realistic, it's possible the CPC can assist with some of the event as well. Yeah, well, let's see what we can do, you know? So it'll go onto our July agenda. Please communicate early and as necessary with Ms. Walsh. If you can get us that list a week in advance of the meeting, that would be helpful for us to be able to take a look at it.
I'll even give us something on my own.
Yeah, I mean, you know, let's start with the 300 committee. I
Start
think
with the
that's the right,
highlights.
yeah, with the right way to do it. Can I get my favorite motion and everybody's favorite motion?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, it is. And you seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
I want to thank the public for attending and watching this. Have a safe week and a safe 4th, because we won't see you until after. Thank you and good night. That's it, Don.
Yeah.